So you think you've got a pretty good handle on our world. Well, what if I told you the country with the most pyramids isn't Egypt? Or that there's a lake so deep it could swallow the UK's tallest mountain, with room to spare? Today, we're going to dig into some facts that'll challenge what you think you know about our incredible planet.
You know, our planet is just packed with these little quirks and wild extremes that can totally flip your perspective on its head. So let's just dive right in, shall we? And we'll start with an image that I'm pretty sure we all have in our minds.
When you picture Antarctica, what do you see? Probably a huge flat sheet of ice, right? But here's the thing. It's actually one of the world's highest continents. Its average elevation is about 2,300 meters. It's basically a colossal plateau of ice that would tower over a lot of countries. And believe me, that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the surprises our planet holds. Let's start with us, the people.
Okay, first up, let's talk about us. This section is all about the mind-boggling numbers and just kind of weird distributions that really define our human planet. As of right now, there are over 8.1 billion of us living on this planet. It's a number so massive, it's almost impossible to really wrap your head around, but it's the bedrock for understanding, well, everything about our collective footprint.
And it's not just about how many of us there are, it's where we all live. You might think of islands as these remote, sparsely populated places, but get this, about 730 million people, that's 9% of everyone on Earth, call an island home. That's a population bigger than the entire continent of South America.
But the speed of our growth is maybe even more astonishing. It took us 123 years to go from 1 billion to 2 billion people. But the jump from 7 to 8 billion, it took just 11 years. This timeline just perfectly captures the insane acceleration of our very recent history.
But population alone doesn't tell the whole story. Not even close. Take the Nordic countries and Madagascar. They have almost the exact same number of people, around 27 million. But the Nordic economy is over 100 times larger. It's just a really stark reminder that how many people a country has and its economic scale are two very, very different things.
So we've had a look at the human side of the planet, but now let's turn to the physical planet itself. We're about to explore the deepest, highest, wettest, and honestly, the weirdest corners of our world.
Let's start with just one number, 1,642 meters. That is the incredible depth of Lake Baikal in Russia, the deepest lake on Earth. It holds about 20% of the world's entire supply of unfrozen fresh water. Just wow.
To try and put that into perspective, the UK's tallest mountain, Ben Nevis, would be completely underwater with 300 meters of water still above its peak. Just picture that, a whole mountain underwater in a lake. That's Baikal for you.
And the climate can be just as extreme. You've got Yuma, Arizona, which gets over 4,000 hours of sun a year. Then there's Arica, Chile, which is so incredibly dry it gets less than a single millimeter of rain annually. And then on the other end, you have La Reunion Island, which once saw nearly 72 inches, that's 1.8 meters, of rain in a single day.
Our planet is also home to some stuff that's just surreal. There's a volcano in Indonesia that literally spews electric blue lava. The world's tallest tree, named Hyperion, is almost as tall as the Great Pyramid of Giza. And Angel Falls in Venezuela is over 20% taller than the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world.
All right, so from the planet's natural extremes, let's shift gears and look at the often strange lines we humans have drawn all over it. This has created some countries with some very, very quirky characteristics.
Okay, quick question. When you think of pyramids, what's the first country that pops into your head? Egypt, right? Of course. Well, what if I told you that when it comes to which country has the most pyramids, Egypt is actually the wrong answer?
Yeah, that title actually belongs to its southern neighbor, Sudan. While Egypt has about 118 famous pyramids, Sudan is home to roughly 240 of them built by the ancient Kushite kingdoms. It's one of those facts that just completely reframes a piece of history we all thought we knew.
All right, here's a cool geographical term for you, an enclave. Basically, it's a country that is completely, totally surrounded by just one other country. It's like the ultimate landlocked nation.
And get this, there are only 3 of them in the entire world. You have Vatican City and San Marino, which are both completely nestled inside of Italy. And then you have the Kingdom of Lesotho, which is entirely engulfed by South Africa.
You know, a lot of countries hold some pretty wild world records.
Sweden, for example, has the most islands, over 250,000 of them. Papua New Guinea is the most linguistically diverse place on Earth, with an unbelievable 840 different languages. And Italy, well, it takes the crown for the most UNESCO World Heritage Sites, with 59.
Okay, for our final section, we are going rapid fire with a few facts that are so extreme, they might just reshape your whole sense of scale and reality. You ready?
You have got to hear this one. So, between 2011 and 2013, that's just a tiny 2-year window, China used more cement
Than the United States used in the entire 20th century. Just let that sink in for a minute. The sheer scale of that is almost impossible to comprehend. This isn't just about buildings. It's a visualization of a massive economic shift happening at a speed humanity has just never seen before.
Here's another number for you, 1,200. That is the average number of tornadoes the United States experiences every single year.
And that is not just a high number. It is more than Canada, Australia, and all of Europe put together. The unique geography of North America creates this perfect storm alley that's pretty much unlike anywhere else on Earth.
So, from blue lava and underwater mountains to countries with more pyramids than Egypt, it's pretty clear our world is just brimming with surprises right under the surface. It really leaves us with a fascinating question. If all this is true, what other assumptions that we hold dear are we now ready to challenge? Thanks for joining us.